Hi guys, Rusty here, and I'm gonna put out a actual moto vlog. This time, instead of sitting at my kitchen table or in my car. So I want to do kind of an initial review of these Shox and what my thoughts were. I rode them last night up to my little watering hole, and today I'm just out tooling around, and some things I've noticed that I really like about them. The rebound on them and how they damping is far superior over my old Shox, which were an aftermarket brand as well. They wasn't the factory air Shox, and those were an improvement over the factory air Shox, but these are a far improvement over the aftermarket ones that I had. I noticed bridge transitions, you don't get that jarring effect as much. It's more of a controlled movement, and very smooth. Even though I'm a ½ inch lower than the 1 inch drop I had before, so now I'm an 1.5 inch drop. I have a little better planted feet, which is nice. And then to boot on top of that, guys, what I've noticed is I have a nasty transition out of my driveway. It's a little curb that dips down, and in that curb, even at just the 1 inch drop, I would drag my Reinhardts and or my mufflers. And with these, because the movement is so controlled, I can actually get out of my driveway a little easier than I could before. I didn't have that bounce, and it was the bounce that caused me to drag. I mean, I can make these, oh, look at the Christmas lights. I can make these drag if I want, but I don't have a problem getting out without dragging. So that to me, that tells me a lot. Even though I'm a ½ inch lower, I'm not having the problems with dragging. So that tells me these Shox are working harder for me. So it was definitely a big improvement in that area as well. But like I say, bridge transitions, you don't have that jarring effect because the Shox are not bouncing you, and everything's a lot smoother. I mean, I can tell it in the seat even. So I'm gonna love to do a video on these in, say, a year or so and get some actual miles on them. And I believe they're even going to be better. You know, I believe everything has a breaking in phase. Shox are the same way. Springs, you know, they soften up a little bit. So I think these will even wear in a little more and probably even smooth out even more. But I mean, just right out of the box and bolt them on, they're pretty amazing. I've got to be honest. And I can't speak for the other brands. I know there's plenty of high-end Shox manufacturers out there, so I can't speak for those guys. I can just speak about the ones I've got, which are the Super Shox. I would be interested. Matter of fact, there's a guy I know that's got a set of the high-end ones with the remote reservoirs and adjustable rebounds and all that. And I might let him take a tool around on the bike and see what he thinks of them. That way, somebody that's got another brand can do a comparison. I'm not going to name out brands. We'll just say his begins with the big L, and he spent a lot of money on his. He spent almost double on his of what mine were. But now he bought the top dog. He bought it with the remote reservoirs and all the bells and whistles and all that. So I mean, when you look at it in that aspect, I mean, it is what it is, you know. And I tell you what, it did make a huge difference in the handling of my bike. I'm actually having to kind of relearn and get used to my bike again, because it has changed the handling characteristics of my bike greatly. It's going to be cool to see how I can push this bike in the future once I adjust to them, because I can tell you it handles a lot better. But right now what I'm noticing is, because it is handling better, I'm tending to oversteer a little bit. But that'll come with time, saddle time and adjustments. But it is awesome to feel the difference in these.